girl, somebody I'll marry will be staying in the city now. Somebody I'll marry will be staying in Lagos or Abuja or Dubai or Texas or Washington.
Wow.
You get. But you as a guy now, you can marry a girl that stays in the village because you're the one that's going to marry her. She's not going to marry you. But me, they are going to marry me. I'm not going to marry them. So I can't go less. I'm a girl. I can't go below my standards. But you as a guy, you can go below your standards.
All right, so thanks for staying with us now. New YouGov data shows that in many couples, women rely on their partner to get by financially, even if they work full-time themselves, while among men, it's much rarer. Around a third of all women with a partner are entirely, that's 6% or somewhat 29% dependent on their other half. Now, this is only true for 11% of men with a spouse, including just 3% who are completely reliant on the other. It is not uncommon to find women who fall under this bucket, right? And whatever the cause or case might be, today we are asking if girls are wired to be totally dependent on men, to think like this young girl. Because sadly, it is what is popular out there, right? That is the popular belief that, you know, a woman should not strive to do anything, don't buy a house and all of that. Are women wired to be totally dependent on men? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica, one of the hashtag WayShow. You know, so it's this conversation, when I heard this audio, everybody was just backlashing the girl and all of that. But I was like, come, this thing is something that we're all wired with. I remember that, you know, as a young girl, you just finish university and everything, you're getting a job. They will tell you, your parents will tell you, don't buy a car. Even if you could afford to buy a house, do not buy a house. Do not buy a car, do not buy a house, because it scares the man away, you know, and all of that. But lately, a lot of independent girls are, you know, are damning the consequences, and they're just living their lives and hoping that, okay, a confident man will come into the picture. But women generally, I believe, are wired, you know, not to aspire so much. Yes, it's good for you to get your degree and all that, but don't go too far, because at the end of the day, there will still be a man to take care of you, you know, your needs and all of that. And sadly, it has subtly crept into our subconscious that even for women that have the capacity, right, to run global organizations, you see them playing small, because again, they have been programmed to believe that they don't really need to do much. But let me come to Jenny Baby first. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Our feminist.
Honestly, listening to that audio, I'm honestly not surprised. And that's because a lot of us women have been wired to be dependent on the man. And if you actually look at it, even the men have also been wired to have their women depend on them.
Yes.
Now, people might want to attack the lady and all of that, but then that's how the society has groomed us, both male and female. You have men who feel a certain type of way if their partner or their spouse earns way more than them. So they feel like, oh, it means that you're going to be the head of the house or something like that. So it goes both ways. But now when you streamline it down to what this lady is saying, so basically she wants the guy to provide for everything. Maybe because, oh, he lives abroad, or the kind of job that he's doing, he's earning power and all of that. And those are things, if we are being honest, those are things to actually consider if you are going to be with somebody forever. As a man, I think you also need to consider how much your wife or your girlfriend is earning and all of that, because if you have to consider bringing a child into this world, those are things that you need to put into place. But now talking about dependency, it goes, I mean, this conversation is very, very broad. It's very broad in the sense that you have ladies who haven't unlearned this part of them, this thing, this inbuilt, how do I put it now? I don't even know the English to use. The way the society has built us to believe that, I mean, our entire life is solely dependent on the man. Everything we do is for the man. And these days, you meet young ladies who are trying to break that barrier, who are trying to break that status quo because they want to make their own money, they want to make a name for themselves, they want to be heard, they want to be able to afford the basic things in their lives. And I would implore ladies to know that, well, there's a saying that says money stops nonsense, and it's the honest truth. So if you have to depend on a man for everything that you need, you should know that it comes with a lot of consequences, because you have these men these days who feel like they can buy you, and you don't get the respect that you deserve or that you need. But then it doesn't stop the fact that even as a woman, I mean, I make my own money, I work day in, day out, and I still get disrespected. Like,
but even
it doesn't take away, yeah.
So
it doesn't take away the respect.
Even if you are making your money, Jennifer, I can bet you for free that if anything happens today, you say, of course, it's no. The way we are subconsciously wired, I will not spend my money. The man has to bring the money.
So this is, yeah. I mean, look at it. So basically, yeah, as a lady, if you're going out, you meet a guy for the first time, you're not expected to pay the bills for your date. You invited me out, so obviously you're going to handle the bills. Sorry, but I don't think we've gotten to the level where, if as a lady I'm the one asking the guy out on a date, if I am supposed to pay. So there are levels to this. There are levels to this conversation, and I feel like if we have to make a headway, everyone has to be open-minded about these things. But a lot of us are actually closed-minded, and that's because people don't want to buy into what they don't know, what they've not experienced. I've not experienced it, so I don't want to know. I'm just going to stick with what I currently know and what is working for me. So the way the lady, everything that she said, there are people it is working for. I mean, you have men that are sorting the bills of a lot of women. You get married, he's flying you out, he's paying for your clothes, for your feeding, for everything. You're practically not spending anything. I mean, that's the dream, right? But then that's not the reality for a lot of us.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll let other people speak.
So because, you know, what I heard from that video when she said that, the guy should live in Texas, so she felt like it is okay if I'm living in my Ajegule house. Because I do not need to aspire to own a house in VGC or a house in Texas or in whatever. She said, because I'm not the one going to go and marry. He's the one that is coming to marry me. So let me be in my home. Let me be in my village. He will come and meet me there. But let me hear your thoughts on this, Norma and Isi.
Well, the truth of it is that whether we like it or not, culture has wired us, has programmed us. Africans are very cultural. I know other parts of the world it also applies, where you have women who are dependent on men. And the general saying, even that we know that is really common, it's a man's world. So no matter what you want to aspire to become, if you don't have that covering, right? If you don't have that canopy or seal or endorsement, it's like all of what you have attained does not measure up. And that's why, you know, some of the parents back in the days would tell them, well, even if you're successful, you know, put yourself in some kind of humble state, don't buy a car, don't buy a house, so that at least you look humble enough to be married, as if the man is doing you a favor at the end of the day. So a lot of young people, but I mean, with Gen Zs and different thinking now, they're damning the consequences and they're living their life. So you see a lot of them, they're doing well, you know, with their cars, going to buy their houses or rent properties for themselves. Basically, there's the wiring for the men and the women. So for men, the wiring is of dominance. They are already, you know, it's like back in the days where you see the girl is told to go to the kitchen, while the boy can sit down and watch TV with his dad, because that is the mindset, or that's the way a man is seen. So for the man as well, his wiring, his programming is also that a woman is for procreation. When I'm ready to get married, I will just find the woman that fits and who can give me children. That's what I'm looking for. That's why back in the day, some climes and religions used to actually make sure that the woman can get pregnant first before they get married. So most of the times the brides were usually pregnant because they wanted to be sure if you were fertile enough to bring forth children. And then power. Men have been programmed to feel powerful over women.
Especially when they are able to provide.
And entitled, especially when they have the money. So it's like they're doing you a favor and you're just like another trophy that is added to my collection or you know, on my set and all of that. And then for the women, you have women who are programmed to that they're, you know, for the kitchen. So you don't amount it to anything but, and that's why sometimes again you see, oh, they're telling you, oh, you have to, you know,
Your homemaker.
you know, be a homemaker. You must take care of your home. You cook for your husband.
Sweep.
Some of those things. Imagine when I got married. Well, I'm from a house where it wasn't whether you are male or female. Every one of us knows how to cook, but we knew how to. We were all domesticated. But I got into a marriage where I had in mind I'm cooking for 14 people, 20 people, and I had a husband that would come by and say, I think I'll take cornflakes, or I think I'll just take an apple. So all of that programming, I had to begin to unlearn some of it, because it's not all men that are like that, but most are wired for that purpose. So women just think that every man is like, also all of my duty is just to be that homemaker and somebody that can take care of the home. And then another thing that the women are looking for is security. A lot of women, so you see women who have very good paying jobs, but you just want to feel secured, knowing that the man is responsible enough to take care of the home, to provide for the home. Absolutely. You are looking for somebody who can provide, who can take care of the, who is responsible. And in these times too, where a lot of men are really irresponsible, so they just claim that they're married, but they're not providing for their homes. They're not. So you see, the woman is everything, doing everything, and it can put a burden on the world. So all of this programming can distort relationships and can cause a lot of conflicts. And for women, for us to truly enjoy relationship, we must unlearn certain things, because in each relationship there are things that do not apply.
Yeah, I was just going to quickly say something before I come to you, EC.
Yeah.
It's not only limited to Africans, because I remember there was a video we saw. Well, maybe because she's African American, but it's not limited to just the African culture.
Yeah.
Even outside of the country, in Western world, you still see. I mean, the girl was saying the guy had broken up with her. Said no, that he upgraded her lifestyle to this particular level. Remember that video?
Yes.
He said so he cannot just back out now. He has to keep paying the bills until somebody else comes back. I mean, this thing is something that is naturally programmed.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that this is what has further fulfilled this Ron's girl business.
Persona.
You know, it has filled it so well that girls just wait and say, you know what, let me just go and do BBL. If I do BBL, you know, I don't need to do anything. There will just be one man, you know, giving me money, or like 2 or 3 men somewhere. It has also encouraged this this lifestyle of big girl, small god, big god, big
girl, no,
small girl. But let me come to you, EC.
Okay, so look, I think we've dissected this topic from diverse points, but there is also one concept we did not actually look at. There is idealism and there is realism. We know that the society is a masculine society, of course, but however, look at the idealistic point of view. Like, I think we've talked about this before, where we talked about the fact that when we are grooming the girl child, we wire the thing into her head that, oh, that when she grows up, that she'll get married to a man, or she gets married to a Prince Charming who will come and sweep her off her feet,
and solve
all her problems, you know. And this is the beginning of things like that being wired into the girl child.
Now, another concept we should also look at, that is for idealism. However, the realism is that we have not actually given the girl child the reality of, you know, being in a relationship or being with, interacting in the society, the culture, the dynamism of the environment they found themselves. That is a crucial part which we have not actually touched on. So in the course of us doing all of this, the concept of us, you know, looking at it from a diverse point of view is crucial. What are those points of view? You've touched on some of them, but we have the fact that it's background. We have our background to actually look into. Look at this. If I listen to the lady that was talking, yes, we can backlash her. Yes, it's her way of thinking. I remember when we were in Ekuma back then, some people said that there was this girl who was walking to the farm, and she had what's it called? Firewood basket, and basket on her head, and some jeep just stopped and picked her up and decided to marry her there because he wanted a wife who was homely, who was good. And believe me, almost all my girls were carrying baskets on their head because they wanted to, you know, get the boy with the jeep. Who doesn't want to be cared for?
No, but this thing you're even saying,
yes, yes,
Cinderella, when you talked about
yes,
charming,
happily ever
yes,
after.
yes,
no, but look at cartoons where we grew up watching Cinderella.
Yes.
She was poor, she was cleaning house, she was
rich.
and all of a sudden one prince that
prince.
is rich and all of that comes to marry. So this thing is ingrained in our DNA.
Society. However, like I stated, the reality on ground is that there ain't no Prince Charming coming to take you away. However, we ladies would want, we talked about the fact that security plays a huge role for us. Yes, we ladies want to be cared for. Who doesn't want to be pampered? Everybody wants to be pampered, including the men themselves. And that's why we see that some men today, they're not actually stepping up to the plate. What do? They would rather get married to a woman who can actually take care of their bills or step up or have something that she's contributing to the family. Nobody wants a liability at the end of the day. It's a society where not only have they wired the women, let me put it in such a way that it's kind of eclectic, because it's a combination of too many things, basically. The men have been wired in such a way that the women are subservient to them. However, the men wouldn't want a situation whereby the woman is totally subservient to them. They want a situation whereby the woman can also bring something to the plate and to the home, and not a liability to the family.
You said don't they cause trouble. I'm
stating the reality. Like I stated, we have reality and we have idealism.
Okay, let's take a break. I want to open our phone lines. As it is right now, it's like I want to relocate to Ajegule. Somebody from Banana Island will come and marry me. It will not work. Stay with us, we'll be right back. All right, so if you just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we're discussing the question, are girls wired to be totally dependent on men? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WaysShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WaysShow. And our phone line is now open. You know the rules. Turn off the volume of your television set when you're calling, and the number to call is 07025007749. All right, so in case you didn't hear the audio, in the first segment, we had played an audio where a girl was saying that she doesn't have to do so much. She just needs to stay where she is. It is the man that is looking for marriage. Now then come to marry. So, you know, she doesn't need to have a particular standard of living. So it is okay for her to be anywhere, let the prince, but she does not want anybody on her level. She was talking to a guy. Now you are on my level. No. I need somebody that is like above my level. So she doesn't feel like she needs to be part of that journey to increase the leveling. You understand? She just needs to stay where she is. Somebody
and be upgraded.
And be upgraded. Simple. You know. So, but you know, but let me come to you, Jennifer. Right?
She's still there.
Yeah, she's there. You know, so you know how young people are like singles, right? How it's almost difficult. Are you still at that point where you are forced to bring down your standards and all of that because you're trying to find a man that would not be afraid of, because now I think guys are targeting the girls that have
High
money.
flyers.
So I don't even understand where this girl is coming from. But let me hear your thoughts as being single. What do you think the market is like right now?
I would say the market is very modest. The reason is this year, I think over time, I've been able to view myself, I've been able to learn a lot of things about myself and what I want exactly out of life, a partner, and all of that. So it's very easy for me here when I meet men, it's very easy for me to meet them out. You have a lot of men, they have money, but then that's all they can bring to the table. What else? Aside your money, please tell me, what else are you giving me? Nothing. So if that's the only thing you have to offer me, then I don't think I can be with you. And I know that our preferences are different. Yeah, we all have our different choices. We all have our, I mean, we have all the boxes that we expect a man to tick. And for me, I mean, have a good job, do well for yourself, and all of that. But then there is so much more to a relationship or a marriage than that. I don't think I've ever wanted to lower my standards just to meet up to a man.
A man,
I
well,
remember I remember when I was moving out of my father's house, and my dad goes, "Oh, if you move out, men will think that you're wayward. You have your parents living in Lagos, so why are you going to get an apartment? And why not stay here? Let the man come and marry you." And I looked at my father and I told him, "See, any man who feels or thinks that way about me because I am going to live on my own to take care of myself and using my own money, if you feel some type of way about it, then I'm obviously not for you." And then by the time I mentioned about how I wanted to buy a car, and I got the same conversation again. Oh, if you buy a car, he will think that oh you're earning way more than he is. He's going to feel intimidated and all of that. And I feel like oh you carry your shoulders up, you might not respect him. And I said, see, it's even perfect. Like it's just made it very easy for me to actually buy this car because I know once I have it, if that is the criteria, or that's how these men start looking at it, that's not for me. It doesn't mean that you're not for me. There's no two ways about it. I'm not even trying to argue that with anybody. Just don't come close to me because I know exactly what I want. But then again, it's not a one size fits all for everybody. We all have how we want. We all know how we want our life to be. We all know what we want from a partner. So what I want might totally be different from another person. And another person, I mean, I've met women who cannot date a guy that has a 9 to 5 job. They can't date you if you have only one stream of income. They can't date you if you only count your money in thousands. They can't be with you if you only count your millions. They want people who are up there. And that's one thing that she mentioned. The girl in the audio said that she would rather marry up. Jonathan, as a woman, she's supposed to marry up. But as a man, he has the liberty and the free will to actually marry down. And if I'm being honest, that's the truth. I mean,
but
he
wait,
said that we have
no. But wait, Jennifer. All these women rights and what's it called? Equal equity that we are preaching. If the man can marry down, why can't the woman marry down? Why can't she go and say, you know what, I have made enough money. It is not money that I'm looking for in a relationship. I'm looking for a husband that would be with me, a partner that would grow together. Why can't she marry down? Why must we always wait and say, a woman must...
If you look at the past, especially if you look at the past, especially Yoruba women, then these Yoruba women, they're living like who all women that sell fabric and all. If you check their marriages, a lot of them marry down, and that's the honest truth. But the thing is, this year, women hide this thing, and that's because their husbands cannot take it. How many men today, if you ask them, just think all of them out and line them up. How many of you are confident and you're okay with your wife earning way more than you do? Maybe 2 times or 3 times or 4 times than what you currently earn. A lot of them cannot stand it. We've seen
well, that's true. That's true.
The woman that has the money,
I had a
men cannot stand it.
Absolutely.
They have to shield shield the public from knowing that, oh,
Yeah.
it's the wife
That is
that's
paying the bills.
house.
Well, I had a conversation with someone today, and she said that, you know, her friend just got a job. She was promoted. She got a big job, bigger pay and everything, but she needed to be moved to Ibadan. That she had to decline the work. She had to defer the work. You know, because in all honesty, men can't stand that the fact that some men, let me not generalize.
Not all men.
Some men can't stand that a woman is
quite a
independent. She's doing things on her own. She's making a lot of money. So again, you see, this thing is a big problem. If we say we want to find a solution to this problem, because this is actually eating us up. That's why we have a lot of girls sitting down idle, not doing anything, believing that one man will come somewhere and start to pay their bills. You know, even us, as we did like this, if anybody, can you afford? you know, that's the conversation. You see, even women that are married, you know, in the home, they are not even thinking of, oh, how can I match up whatever income that hobby is bringing to the table? Because you do not even, it doesn't occur to you as a woman that you actually can do things to also earn, if not even higher, than the person that you're with. So we've just been wired to just be docile.
If I may step in, another thing you need to also consider in this aspect of earning higher and lower, and the fact that the lady in that audio stated that she didn't want to deal with someone who was on her level.
To marry down.
Yes, to marry down. One thing you should also take into cognizance is it's not about the environment. It's about the person you are attracted
Absolutely.
to. Some people might just find themselves in that particular environment, but they do have a lot to offer. Basically, the way they're thinking, their intellect, their aspirations, their visions, what they want to do. I've seen a situation, not even once, not even twice, I've seen a situation whereby we have individuals who marry, or ladies who marry people who are of a lower pedigree, and these are the men at the end of the day that actually left the family. So there are other things like that that actually occur. So you can't say
Can't generalize. Let's take our first caller for the evening, Abraham from Abuja. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Abraham.
I think I'm enjoying this topic this evening because I earlier had this conversation with somebody. And I think I'll just pick up from where one of speakers was talking from.
Abraham, we're having difficulty hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So, I'm saying that I'm picking up from where one of the speakers left out, saying that some men cannot stand their wife earning more than them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's supposed to be a conversation between the husband and the wife, agreeing, understanding each other's role. And if the woman understands that my husband is my husband, so because I'm earning more than him and I'm supporting the family, doesn't displace him from doing it, I don't think there will really be an issue.
Thank you.
That's one. The second thing is, are we wired to be dependent on men? I think from home, usually before now, generations before now, it wasn't like this. I think it's time that is changing, that is bringing conceptualization, and is really affecting society. So I just think it's a good topic you guys are treating, and maybe
all right, thank you, Abraham. We're having a bit of difficulty hearing you, but I think I got the crux of what you're trying to say. That it's supposed to be between parties. When you say that earn more than whatever, it is between the man and, well, that's true. Every relationship is actually unique. Some men are comfortable, you know, and, you know, just allowing the woman to go and be the high flyer, get all the big bucks and all of that. I get you, and you're 100% correct. Let's take some comments then.
Okay. I have this one from Mufoma. So it says, hello, Ways ladies. Norma, your analysis of the subject matter is spot on. Men date, marry down to a woman who looks up to them, respects and appreciates them, but women marry up to a man who can provide and they can revere. In the animal kingdom, females watch males fight, sometimes to death, and the victorious male is usually strongest and healthiest, has mating rights with the female to father the next generation.
Okay.
But we as humans have evolved an economic system based on money, where you don't have to physically fight, but have to provide economically for school, health, holiday, domestic staff, etc. Men derive satisfaction from providing and protecting, and women derive satisfaction from nurturing with available resources. It's female hypergamy and is present in animals and humans. Real men should accept this reality, but choose a partner carefully.
Okay.
Thank
How
you,
about you,
Foma.
Missy?
Well said.
What's
Choose
wondrous analysis?
Choose a partner carefully. I like that. So this is from Tammy, and he says, or she says, some parents from poor backgrounds push their girl child to go get boyfriend to meet their financial needs. The sense of entitlement and dependency is nurtured and imposed by some society.
Okay, Jennifer, you have a comment? Is she there? Oh, she's frozen. All right, let me take her comment. So, good evening, ladies. Society and culture made most girls think that their lives depend on men for survival. Growing up, my dad raised us girls to be independent and ensured we didn't feel inferior to boys. I grew up knowing I can compete with any man. As a married woman working, I expected my husband to provide for our family. But a few years back, he was sick. I was able to use the savings, take care of the bills, and run the family. I plead parents should bring up their girl children, know their self-worth, be independent, so that whatever happens in their adult life, they will not be thrown off balance and confused. Modern women should always think that, like biblical Proverbs 31 woman who invests, buys property, and commands respect. Thanks, ladies. Thank you so much, BC. This is from BC. All right, so it's an interesting conversation, right? But you see, this wiring that we have as women, do you think it serves us? But I think I have a caller. Let me take a call first. Tony from Warri, thank you for calling. You're live. Hello, are you there? Oh, sugar, we lost him. Okay. So, so what is it costing us, having us think like this? Because I know that for the longest of time, I made the choice not to have a 9-to-5. I wanted to, because marriage, pregnancy, everything, I wanted to be with my children, to be available to take care of my children again, because you hear all the horrific stories and all of that. But it just happened that time just went by. And, of course, when it comes to jobs, there is a certain age you get to that you can no longer get the graduate trainee jobs and all of that. So that's how life happened to me, but,
women.
Life happened to me like that. But I think we have Tony's back, I think, from Warri. You're live. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes, Anthony, we can hear you. You're live.
Hello?
Go ahead, you're live. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Hello?
Oh, wow. I think you're still having trouble. So for me, life happened to me, and it now seemed like, I got to the point where every single thing, up to down to your sanitary pads and all of that, you don't really have any source of income, right? Even though I was running a business, it's still subconscious in my mind that. So I had to, recent years, I started telling myself that it is okay if you pay your bills. If it is okay if you go to a restaurant and actually pay for your meal.
Absolutely.
It is. So I started subconsciously, trying to
Becoming
scramble.
independent.
Yes, to scramble that thought that I do not have to depend. Yes, even though you have someone there that is supposed to be a husband.
Support.
Yes, you understand, like a support. It doesn't mean that every single thing that has to do with your life, your clothes, your this, your that, because don't forget that as women, we are wired to be spenders. Women, actually, we are not meant to just be, you have a lot of needs. If I sit down now, I can tell you 1,000,001 things. If you give me $1 million in 10 minutes,
It's gone.
it will go in 10 minutes.
Totally.
That's how much of needs that we always want to do? Is it that we want to make our hair, want to do this, want to do that? So why would you now as a person just sit down? It will crop up, right? I mean, money doesn't just stay like that because you actually have a lot of things that you want to do with money. So why can't we start to think of how to generate that income? Why must we sit down and say, you know what, we are waiting for a man, even if the man is your husband, right? It does not give you any right as a person to think that that person must be, you know, your all in all, because it breeds disrespect. Everything. But let me bring in our caller, then I would youngest old man. Oh, you're live.
Oh, good evening.
Hi.
Long time no here.
Yes,
we are busy with the delegate business.
Serious matter.
You know, we are the new wives in town now. The delegates are the new wives in town.
Yes,
so people, you know, the kind of hotels, the calls you get with some sweet tones,
and they give you some envelopes.
So this is our season. In fact, we are the main problem.
You wish you enjoy
our old Jerry, don't mind them. God did. Well, you see, the issue is that I had a lot to say, but as a comment you read from that lady, it kind of calmed me down that I think I understand that the world knows the truth about how creation gives men, you understand, some certain responsibilities, and the female with their own responsibility. However, along the way, if anything turns, I think we have the capacity to adjust and understand that this is not, it's something, it's a one-off thing. It's not a change of lifestyle. For example, we all expect the man to be the provider, and if things table turns around, it now comes that the woman should provide. I think there should be an understanding that it's a one-off situation, but we can't change the total creation of that dependence. In fact, let me tell you, if a woman is the richest, if she has everything, she still want to get it from a man.
Yes,
it's natural. So that is just how God creates his own thing. I don't really know how he does it, but that is how we are. So that lady's comment calmed me down. Okay. So and we need to reread that comment and understand what she said, and that is just the truth.
Thank you. All right, so let's take more comments.
Yeah, in fact, you took the words out of me. I think when we understand the dynamics and the uniqueness of each relationship, then it makes it easier to adapt.
Totally.
Okay, so I have this comment, and it says, "Good evening, my dear beautiful sisters," or what are you saying? We already know who it is.
Yes, Daniel.
#ways. The question is, are girls wired to be totally dependent on men? The answer is yes, and vice versa. To some girls, for their own relationship to be solid, to favor them, the man must be fully loaded and wealthy. Trust me, some girls really love their men because of what they have, not for who they are. I can bet you that when it comes to a time that the man cannot fend for his girl, the lady decides to end the relationship.
Totally.
That lady becomes lazy and a liability. Men always want to call the shots because they are the breadwinners. My name is Daniel. Wade's regular fan.
Quickly,
Thank
your
you
comments.
so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
This is the comment goes this way. It says, if a woman earns more than her partner, with time she will lose respect for him, especially if she meets people better than her and her husband. Female hypergamy is women's way of picking the best option available to them to father their kids. This is from Frank.
I was going to say respect. Respect is both ways.
Yeah.
If a man is buying down to your sanitary pad, a man is buying it for you, you cannot afford to buy anything for yourself. The man will also disrespect you. So disrespect is both ways. Let me take our final caller for the evening. Hello, you're live. Hassan, you're live. Is he there? Oh, I think it's network problem. You know, so, I mean, because when you talk about respect, that was where I was going with the conversation, that it got to that point where I said, well, you need to start to, you know, I mean, God gave you brains, gave you 2 hands, gave you 2 legs. Yes, okay. So what do you need to do? And I started building. quietly building a career for myself, right? So, I mean, it's never too late to start. But when you now get to that point where you are just there, there's nothing you're contributing, you're not bringing nothing to the table, right? It doesn't make any sense. So you now sit down and all you're thinking of is how to breed the next child or how to do, so it doesn't make any sense for me.
Can I quickly add that for men who may not be the one who has the earning power, maybe the woman that has the earning power, at the end of the day, if you also do not respect that woman and the fact that she is helping the family or she is holding the family together, it's going to bring contention, because some men ego comes in and they begin to
half and puff.
Exactly. And this woman is literally trying to put the home together, and you are not even being grateful, or you're not even being supportive. You may not be the one bringing the money or the cheese, but at least that support, advice, or
Auntie women, please bring in the cheese. No, it's true, because when God created us, they didn't say this was male brain, female brain, or whatever capacity. God gives every human being the capacity to do great things. So all this wiring that we have been wired to think that we need a man for sustenance, it makes no sense. We need to start scrambling that thing from a medulla oblongata. Oblongata, whatever. On that note, did we lose Jennifer? Thank you so much, guys. I think we had fun with this topic. Oh, Jennifer. Thank you, Norma. Thank you. See. All right, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. I just wanted to add, instead of asking men for money, ask them for work. Tell them to give you work to
pay
do.
You for
so
the
you
work
can use your brain and pay and get the money. I mean, that's what I asked for. Money, in case you missed our quotes, here it is again. Money only impresses lazy girls. When a woman works hard, a man with money is just a bonus, not a ladder to upgrade. Come on. We'll see you guys live at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen.